Hey everyone, welcome to the reading for today. We're going to see what you guys need to know right now. It's a general reading, okay? It could be past, present, or future. You're going to know best how this resonates for you, all right? Where it fits on the timeline. So let's see. What's going on today? What do you guys need to know right now from Spirit? Let's see. The Magician, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Chariot. All right, and then we have the Hermit at the bottom of the deck. So you could be manifesting right now, all right? Manifesting something. We'll have to see in the mode of creation, I guess, all right? And the Chariot. This is about moving something forward, something that's been growing for a long time, or you've been putting a lot of time and effort into a manifestation, but you haven't seen any kind of results from it yet, or something here is moving forward, okay? What is this about? It's like, how should I explain this? It's like the energy of cultivating, okay, or something culminating, or it's just sitting there, but it's just getting more and more and more, but you're not really doing anything with it. It's just like growing, cultivating, okay? Let's see what this is. Why is the Magician here? The Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Wands. Yeah, so this could have to do with the future or the way that you're planning your future, and the Wheel of Fortune. So something about divine timing. Okay. You know that something here has to do with divine timing, or that there's a right time for everything. Or there's a time in the future. The right time is in the future. You know this, all right? For something. It's for some sort of a manifestation that you've been cultivating or culminating or working on, spending a lot of time, effort, energy on. But there's the Seven of Pentacles is working on something without seeing results. It's you just working on it, okay? So you know that there's something in the future. The Knight of Wands in reverse. Yeah, you don't want to do something impulsively, or you don't want to take quick action, or anything. I mean, if there's something specific that you're manifesting here, you just know that you have to take your time. You can't force it. You can't do it impulsively, okay? Something has to be planned. It can't be impulsive. All right. What's the Seven of Pentacles? Death. This has to do with ending something permanently, transforming something. The Truth. This is the truth about a home. The Ace of Swords and the Four of Wands. This is the truth about a property, a home, a community. Building something, ending something permanently. A transformation with your home life or your stability. Okay. Why is a Chariot? Look, Chariot again at the bottom. Why is a Chariot here? The Eight of Pentacles, a plan. The Sun in reverse. Spending a lot of time working on something, mastering it. The Sun in reverse. The Seven of Wands and the Star. Being defensive. You're looking for some sort of hope. You're looking for hope, or you want to find some sort of hope in the future, or this is what you're working on. it has to do with you keeping hope or a purpose or a direction of some sorts. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, it kind of feels like, especially with the Eight of Pentacles and the Sun in reverse, or the Chariot as well, maybe like in times where you're unhappy, it's like you want to feel like you have somewhere you can go, or you have a direction where you don't lose hope. So it's like working towards something where you know that you can go just in case. Just in case you need to defend yourself, all right? It's like making sure that you have a backup plan or a way out or something so that you don't give up hope. I don't know. Why is this coming out like this? Tell me more about the Magician. The Four of Swords. This has to do with what you think about or what you're contemplating, what's going on in your mind, what you're thinking about, processing, okay? What's that about? Separation. So maybe unsure of the future, okay? So maybe you're a bit unsure of the future at times. Maybe you're unsure if there's going to be a separation in the future, all right? Okay, but you know that this has to do with you planning for the future. So if you're unsure of the future and you're in the Magician energy of, manifesting, creating, or knowing that you can create anything, you can create any kind of reality even for yourself if you wanted to, okay? This is something that you might have been thinking about, or you're thinking about it, unsure of the future. So you're thinking about the future, all right, with the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Wands. You know that you have to make some sort of a plan, but it has to be in the right time and things have to be thought out, and it can't be hasty. It can't be impulsive. Okay. All right. This has to do with a karmic relationship being triggered in turmoil, resentment, and lessons. Letting go. Okay. Tell me more about this here, please. This has to do with the Empress and some sort of communication, okay? Something that was said to an Empress, communicated to an Empress, or you're the Empress communicating something or taking some sort of action here, and it has to do with your future plans, all right? So why is this important? Because you're weighing your options. Two of Pentacles, Ten of Wands in reverse, releasing a burden, okay? Or you just want to make something as easy as possible, all right? So, yeah, that's the thing, okay? Okay, so just an example, right? So I can tell you guys the energy, because look, we have the Four of Wands here and the Death. So let's say you're thinking about moving, okay? Moving somewhere else. You're gonna think about, you're unsure of the future. You might be thinking about making this move or starting over, but you're also weighing your options, right? Like what you could do, how you could make this work, what's the best time, because you don't want to make something harder than it needs to be, all right? So things like that need to be planned out well, right? You don't want to just get triggered and up and leave, because that could bring with it a bunch of, just unnecessary stress, things like that. When it's like a big move or a big change in your life, it just works a lot easier when it's planned out well, right? I mean, you can, if you're in a really bad situation, of course, you can always like just jump up and change your life, right? If you need to leave immediately, you can do that. But this energy is more of like you thinking about the future, you being unsure of the future, thinking about things, thinking about a separation maybe, okay? Weighing your options, going back and forth about it, okay? And what's the easiest way? Okay, what's the Seven of Pentacles? The World, yeah. It could be about moving, okay? Going somewhere else in the world, or investing somewhere else, or closing out a cycle. The Two of Cups. Yeah, this could have to do with a relationship, okay? The Emperor in the reverse. A relationship to an Emperor in the reverse. Someone that can be very controlling or very mean, very cruel. Very overbearing, or, you know, angry, loud, all right? What about this? Rebuilding something repetitively, persistently, working on it. What are you working on? Watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception. Who's that about? Who's the stalking, watching, looking, stalking about? The Six of Wands and justice. Victory and success, fairness, justice. Something being made right, something being made fair and just. Okay. Winning something here. The Six of Swords, moving on to safety, moving on to peace. This has to do with someone that's imbalanced, or you're unable to feel balanced here, or so I don't know. You could be dealing with someone where you're just not really sure if this can be balanced out. Okay, so whether it be a relationship or a home, any kind of a life situation that you're in right now, all right? You might not know if this can be balanced out. And I feel like, now I don't know if it's the situation that you're not sure about, but we also have Strength in reverse, which means that someone here can have some sort of ego problems, or maybe they have a bit of an anger problem, an anger issue. They can be very aggressive. They can be very dominating, okay? So maybe you're also wondering if it's even possible for this person to balance themselves out. Maybe they say that they try working on this, all right, or somebody wants to work on this, they want to rebuild something, but maybe you're also noticing that they're having a hard time kind of balancing themselves out, all right? And it has to do with some sort of aggression. I feel like this person has, maybe with the Emperor in the reverse as well, an aggressive personality type, okay? The Hermit. The Lovers, yeah, it could be a relationship, all right? Some sort of a relationship dynamic, or a partnership, a contract of some sorts that you're looking at. You could be going within about this. You're kind of looking at this from a realistic perspective. You're trying to go within, so you're trying to find the inner wisdom, or you're trying to look within to figure out what you're going to do next, is what it looks like, because you're in a relationship where there's a lot of triggers and a lot of turmoil, and maybe you're a bit unsure of where this is going to go, and if this can even be balanced out, and if it can even be worked on, if that's even a realistic perspective at this point, right? All right, so it could also have something to do with your, like this sunglasses card, it could have something to do with your perspective, like the way that you saw this relationship or this situation in your life, okay? Maybe for a long time you saw it through the lens of, we can work on this, like we can figure it out, or this person can work on this, or this is something that they could change or heal through. Maybe you're getting to the point of realizing that maybe this can't be worked on, like maybe it's too ingrained, or maybe it's not able to be healed through. I don't know. Could be that as well, right? Like the Queen of Cups in the reverse. I mean, even with the Seven of Pentacles, this could be you like looking at all this time, right? Like maybe you've spent a lot of time here, there with this person. And it's like, okay, so, you know, when is enough enough? Okay. The Three of Cups, the Ten of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Ten of Cups in reverse, the Hanged Man in reverse. This has to do with a painful, ultimate betrayal in the past. A broken family, lack of family, not feeling like a community, or not feeling like there's a union here with this person, feeling stuck. Maybe not able to see something from a different perspective, or just feeling kind of stuck in a bad situation, a lot of betrayal, a lot of like agony, all right, that in the past that you're looking at. So what I'm kind of getting here is that like you start to kind of reach a point where you ruminate a lot, right? Or you think about not just the last thing that happened, but the culmination of things, right? And maybe that's why I was getting that at the beginning with this energy of like something kind of like getting bigger and bigger and bigger, because this is like the kind of situation where you've been in it for a very long time. And so things start to culminate over time. And you can sit there and kind of look back in the past. God, I have a fuzzy somewhere on my lip, guys. Sorry, I keep picking at it. But you start to see it as a pattern, or you start to see things like from a higher perspective, or that this is something that they've done a lot, all right? I don't know, this like ruminating energy, like looking at the past, looking at all the different times this person has stabbed you in the back, all the different times they've made you feel a certain way, all the different times they've been very angry towards you, controlling towards you, and just kind of sitting in that and going like, okay. What else? This has to do with not taking action, not standing up for yourself. Yeah, that could be it as well, is that you're kind of looking back at the past, realizing that there was a lot of moments where you could have taken action and you didn't, or you could have stood up for yourself and you didn't. You know, maybe you're even asking yourself like, why? Why was it like that? Like, why did I not stand up for myself? Okay. Or why did I not take action? This has to do with a message, a Page of Wands, and a King of Cups. All right. The Knight of Wands, the Nine of Swords in reverse. Coming out of anxiety, coming out of stress, coming out of a nightmare. What is this about? Cupid's arrow. Have faith, love is coming. Hesitation. Yeah, it's something about your hesitation, maybe, okay? when it comes to defending yourself or standing up for yourself in the past. I feel like in the past, you might have hesitated and let a lot of things slide, all right? And now you're kind of looking, I mean, this feels like you looking back to the past and realizing that you actually let a lot of things slide. Like you actually did not defend yourself or stand up for yourself or take care of yourself. You just let somebody do a lot, right? I don't know. Okay. Love call. Someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you, letting you know. A phone call, girl talk, seduction, girl talk, somebody spending time with friends, girl talk, boy talk, whatever. Hooking up, temptation, third-party interference, flirting, dating. What's that about? The relationship is over, no second chances. I mean, this kind of makes me feel like you stuck out a lot of things that a lot of other people would not have done, or you stuck around even when, you know, other people would have ended this relationship immediately. So maybe that kind of, I mean, it kind of feels like opening up a can of worms in your own life, wondering why. Like, why did you respond in certain ways? Or why did you not put your foot down? Why did you not defend yourself? Okay. Maybe even realizing, like, when you look around, like, other people would have put their foot down or other people would have reacted this way. It's like, why did I let these things slide? Okay, that's kind of, not slide. It just feels like, why did you have a different reaction to these things than other people might have had? Okay. I mean, that's really what this feels like. So why is this important for the collective today? Yeah, this is illuminating something to you, maybe even about yourself, all right? This is helping you see the truth about the future, the Three of Wands. You planning the future. Why is that so important? Something about you kind of keeping your future options open, or well, not options. It's more like you looking into the future. It's like, you know, whatever this is, like, you know that you're not necessarily content where you are right now, and you're not happy where you are right now. And you do think about the future and what the future could look like and what you could do, where you could go, what you could do differently, right? So it's not like you're just sitting in a bad situation with someone. This is on, yeah. And just taking it and not thinking about it, but you're just kind of more like looking towards the future, being unsure of the future, and weighing something back and forth and looking at your options, or like thinking, how could I do this? How could it be possible for me to make this step or make this change? Because I'm gonna, you know, it's like the path of least resistance. That could be something that you, the way that you kind of go about things is the path of least resistance, or just not making something harder than it needs to be, all right? All right. The Nine of Wands. Defending yourself, standing up for yourself, never giving up, okay? So you're not someone that gives up. The Chariot in reverse. Not knowing where to go, feeling defeated, losing control, not moving forward. It's like, how, it's giving me like a contradiction, right? It's like, how can you be so resilient and so spirited, and you know, you don't want to give up and you want to keep fighting and you want to keep going, but then you lose some sort of momentum or some sort of drive or some sort of forward movement, right? It's like first you're very defensive and then you lose the momentum. That's kind of what this feels like. Yeah, this could have to do with the Eight of Cups and the Three of Swords. Yeah, walking away from something, all right? Walking away from someone, walking away from something because of heartbreak and pain. So it kind of looks like at first you're very defensive, all right? So you walk away from someone or you leave a situation behind or you're ready to walk away and you're ready to let go because you're heartbroken about something and you're defensive. And then what? And then what? And then we have a Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. And then what? Something about seeing it clearly, all right? Seeing something clearly about not something being a failure, all right? Something being in vain. Feeling like everything was in vain, feeling like everything was for nothing, or seeing no growth. There's no growth, nothing is getting better. Something is just not working, no matter how much time and effort you put in, it's just not going anywhere. There's no fruit, okay? There's no fruit, nothing is growing. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse. This has to do with a Queen of Cups and some sort of generosity or equal give and take. A Queen of Cups giving to someone or giving to a Queen of Cups. What is that? What is this about? Heartbroken. Deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, grieving, and mourning. Has to do with you trying to transcend an obstacle or you preparing for a new phase in your life. A heartbreak, a breakup, or in a moment where you were deeply hurt and deeply sad, you started planning on how you can maybe transcend this obstacle or how you can maybe have a new phase in your life. Came from a place of being heartbroken, being ready to walk away, being ready to leave. Being ready to leave, being ready to walk away. Okay. Learn from the past in reverse. You don't want to reminisce anymore because someone in your life was a snake. Yeah, I mean, maybe, like I said, ruminating a lot, thinking about the past, realizing that that the past hurts a lot, okay? Looking at the past, it might hurt a lot. You don't like reminiscing on the past. Maybe somebody in your life was a snake. I don't know. What? Okay, so why is this important? Why is this important here? Because this is just about like your state of mind, okay? But, why do we need to know this? Or what's the point here for the collective? It has to do with the King of Wands, okay? And the Page of Cups. And the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Has to do with missing out on an inheritance or losing generational wealth or losing a family legacy. Okay. This has to do with a Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and a Death. Permanent ending. What is this about? It has to do with a fight, an argument. So there was a fight, an argument here with someone, and it left you up in your head. It left you in your thoughts. It left you ruminating about something, maybe. Okay, or just just reminiscing about the past. Who's this? What is this about? Oh, God. Receiving what you need in reverse, progressing, arriving, moving on in reverse. You can't move on, you can't progress, you don't want to be charmed anymore, you don't want to be used anymore, you don't want to be manipulated anymore. Okay. Yeah, you might feel like you just can't heal. Maybe it's kind of giving me like, maybe you're starting to realize that there's a heartbreak here in your life that you're having a really hard time healing from. And that could be the same thing, like I said about this hesitation. It's kind of like, maybe at first you thought you could do this. Like at first, maybe whatever this is, you thought that you could work through this, or you thought that you could think your way through this, or feel your way through this, or you could deal with this, all right? But this kind of feels like you getting to the point of you realizing like maybe you can't heal through everything, okay? Maybe there is something that you just can't move on from, or something just hurts too much. You can't heal this heartbreak. And then also maybe the question of like, why did you even put up with this in the first place? I mean, why? It kind of feels like, you kind of looking at yourself going like, why am I even putting up with this? Like, why am I even dealing with this? What made me think that I should even have to deal with this or put up with this, or, something like that. Okay. Yeah, breakup, separation, stop the pattern. So you're contemplating a breakup, okay? Maybe you're also contemplating if it's time to just abandon something, right? Or just to cut something off. Yeah, and this has to do with the past, you looking at the past, you looking at the past. So there's something here that triggered memories, all right? And maybe that's something that you don't look at often, or you didn't in the past, all right? You didn't look at the culmination of something. You didn't look at all the times that this happened, or all the times that happened, or you didn't ever really sit in the energy of everything that went on in your life the past years, right? So something here triggered memories. And these memories triggered a feeling of you wondering, I guess, why you excused so much, or why you dealt with so much, or why you hesitated so much, or why you didn't see like the big picture of this, right? Man. And this has to do with you now thinking about maybe taking a chance, taking a risk, being strategic. Okay, so that kind of gives me you thinking about maybe what you're going to do next, all right? Is this somewhere that you want to stay? Do you want to stay where you are right now? Do you want to maybe start over somewhere new? What would that look like? How could you do that? How could you make that happen, Yeah, dealing with a self-absorbed narcissist in a one-sided relationship. You might have been slapped in the face here with reality that you have always been in a one-sided relationship. You've always been in some sort of a dynamic with a narcissist. It's always been this way. It's like you needed to see the culmination of something, because I feel like you might have only seen like so this kind of energy where, let's say you have a fight with someone, all right? And when it comes to dealing with the person and the fight, all you're talking about is what was said or what happened during that particular fight, right? But this is like the energy of you going back in time and looking at all of the things that this person ever did to you, all the things they ever said to you, making a list, thinking of things coming up, and you realizing like, oh my God, I have been dealing with a lot. I've been dealing with some serious shit a lot, okay? And it's almost like that moment of realization that you might have never seen how massive the problem really was, okay? Or asking yourself even like why you didn't see this. It's like seeing something clearly, but like way too late, right? Yeah, that's what this feels like a bit, okay? An engagement ring, a partnership, a commitment. Yeah, this is like the way that your perspective has changed. Okay, so maybe in the past, you saw this commitment or this relationship in a way that you can get through anything. Like it's possible to get through anything, right? You can get through anything together, maybe. This kind of feels like getting to the point of realizing like maybe you can't. Like maybe some things just cannot be healed through, okay? Yeah, a new phase, a rekindling, changing your mind. Something is changing within you, all right? There's some sort of transformation happening. Or maybe you're thinking about having a new start or having a new phase in your life, or there's something about you that's transforming, and it has to do with your mind or the way that you're perceiving this situation that you're in and this relationship that you're in. Yeah. Yeah, there's something that's burned. I feel like the Phoenix is about you being burned down to the ground. Like something within you was burned down to the ground all the way, dealing with this person or this situation. You were burned down all the way to the ground, and you're never going to be the same again, ever. And it's also about you realizing that your relationship is never going to be the same ever again. Right? And it's like, I guess this is kind of like you wondering, right? Shocking news, a surprise epiphany, you having that epiphany that maybe, maybe some things just cannot be transformed, right? I don't know. I feel like this is like it's like you're going through a transformation, right? Your soul is going through a transformation, and maybe that's why you're kind of having a hard time flipping the switch completely, because you're going from someone that was very optimistic or very understanding and very I almost want to say like malleable, okay? Like adaptable, okay? You couldn't adapt to a lot of different things and a lot of different stress situations, I guess. I mean, it kind of feels like you were always very optimistic that things could work out or things could be worked through, right? And it feels like, I feel like it feels weird for you to switch your thinking more into a state of mind of, like maybe some things just can't change, right? And that's why it's coming out like this with this future planning, like you giving yourself a lot of time or always looking maybe towards the future and wanting to take something a bit slow because you want to, because you can sense, I feel like you sense within yourself that you're changing, that something within you is changing. The way that you see things now has changed, right? You've shed some sort of a skin. So someone likes you, romance is blooming, want to date. Yeah, it's like it's realizing what something was always about, right? You're realizing what something has always been about. And that it doesn't have anything to do with you, okay? Yeah, and this has to do with someone taking a chance, risk, being strategic, all right? You thinking about, or somebody not showing their whole hand, all right? I don't know who this is about. An engagement ring, girl talk, somebody spending time with friends, moving on, happily single. A commitment, completion. I mean, this kind of feels like this Two of Pentacles, right? It's like you going between these two things. Like you're just kind of like, okay, I don't know if I can, can this commitment be worked out? Is this a partnership, or is it maybe better to move on and be single and live in the moment, okay? So it kind of feels like you're just kind of weighing your options right now of what would make you happy, right? Or what feels good to you, or what feels, I don't know. Tell me more about that. Give me one last card and then I'll close it out. Yeah, stability, security, permanence, and growth. What's going to make you feel more secure? I don't know. This is about your growth or flexibility, your stability, security. I mean, I feel like that you're like a tree, you're like a pretty well planted tree, okay? You're a pretty stable, secure person as is. I feel like the question for you now is just like, is the situation, like, is the environment that you're in able to sustain this stability that you already carry with you anyways? Like, you're not sitting here thinking like, okay, so if I make a big change in my life, then I'm going to be completely unstable. No, because you know that you're the tree. You're the stable tree in this situation, right? I feel like you're just wondering right now, should I plant my tree here or should I plant my tree there? Because you're the stable one in this situation. And can your environment care for this the same way that you can? Or are you in an environment right now where, long term, your roots are going to start rotting out? Right? Maybe you're kind of tired of feeling like you're the one with the stable roots here, and you're the one offering someone else a lot of stability and security and permanence, but is the environment even like viable for that, right? And I feel like this is a hard question to ask yourself because like, if you're the stable one and you're the secure one, then you don't you know, you're not going to get in a situation, or you're not going to feel it like, how should I say this? Like if you're the one always offering someone else that stability and security, you're not going to really feel when that is threatened unless that person that you're with is threatening that all the time. And I feel like that's what you're starting to realize, is that you're dealing with someone that is constantly threatening your sense of stability and security, even though you are the tree. And it's like, you know, I could plant my tree somewhere else and be totally stable and secure, and I wouldn't have this threat around me anymore, where I feel like someone is always threatening what I have already within me. Okay? Does that make sense? Yeah. So any advice here for the collective, and then I'll close the reading out. The Page of Wands in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, it's like you might not know how to plan long term with someone that you feel like is constantly throwing you out of balance. Okay? On your own, I feel like you're very balanced. You know how to balance everything out, but you're dealing with someone or a situation and you feel like this person is constantly throwing you out of balance, right? So you know, you can't really plan long term, or somebody is not really thinking something through, or I mean, this could also be that you're kind of looking back at the past now and realizing that this person never offered you any kind of stability. You were the stability, right? They never offered you anything that was stable, nothing. You were the stability, and maybe that's why you didn't really notice, because you're so stable and secure on your own that you didn't really notice that they were disrupting you in this kind of an intense way. Like, it kind of feels like you're like the tree with the roots and you're dealing with like a ping pong ball, right? So you might not notice that it's like that out of whack. Yeah. The Four of Swords. Yeah, this is what you're thinking about right now. There's a lot you need to think about. You're going within about it. You're processing it. You're working through it. You're thinking about it. It's on your mind. You're thinking about it a lot. There's something that you need to process. You need to take your time. It needs to be thought out. Okay? The Knight of Cups. Yeah, because you can't always, like, you might be realizing, look, that you can't be the one that's always offering. You're the one offering the stability and the security, right? And it's like you keep having this open door to someone because you know that, well, I shouldn't say that you know this, but I feel like subconsciously you've kind of, it's almost like this person knows that you're a stable and secure person, so they are a ping pong ball in your life. How should I say this? This is very strange. It's like they're kind of like a hormonal teenager, okay? Right? And they keep thinking that you're going to keep giving this cup of understanding and compassion and, you know, love to them. But at some point, it's like this hormonal, moody teenager that's not offering you any kind of real stability or security in your life. Like, how much more time are you going to give them to get their shit together, okay? And maybe it's kind of like you coming to the realization after a long time, really realizing that you... like, you're the one that's really the stable, secure one. You're the one with the roots in the ground, not them. They're not really giving you anything, all right? Kind of feels like they're not really bringing much to the table. Yeah, all right, guys. I don't know. I hope this one helps. Okay, this one was a bit deeper than I expected. All right. Let's see. Who's involved here? A Taurus. And a Pisces. A Cancer and a sister. And then we have a November, a Gemini in November. Okay, guys, I hope this helps. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye.